big, that you still about to get a fight from 334 Balfour. I'm just letting you know. You keep talking that War Eagle stuff, you're gonna get a bunch of punch emojis across the screen. Bama don't play that. But Dabo Swinney was in the news this week because one of his star quarterbacks, I was giving him big props until he opened his mouth about the kneeling thing. Bruh, you in the NCAA, you worry about stuff down there. Don't worry about what's going on in the real football league. You're in the juniors, stay in the juniors. But he was talking this nonsense. Well, they have a black they have a black president and all this. Like, that is a concession, Mr. Swinney. That is not progression. So he already was on my radar for the dumbass dude of the week. Me and Chief Rock are gonna come up with an award to give somebody who say something stupid every week, and I'm gonna have to figure out one for my show as well. But he was already on my radar. Like, hey, I gotta watch this guy. And then my man, the quarterback. I'm not praying for those Georgia fans. I'm not paying those Georgia fans any attention. Damn, going hard, and he pissing on the Georgia logo. Bama has initiated and engaged in war. Let's go. So back to this clown, Dabo Swinney, man. Dabo Swinney is not letting this quarterback who led his team to a bowl game and a bowl victory, who led his team to an undefeated start after 4 games, and he realized that he was going with my man Sunshine from whatever the damn Denzel Washington movie was called. Joe gonna put it in there in a second. He was going with Sunshine. He wins the national championship. Without those 4 victories, my man wouldn't have won the national championship. And then I understand you want to have a unified front. Oh, damn, he switched it to this. Georgia. Oh, man, Auburn. Damn, I thought that was Georgia. My bad. Well, remember the Titans. See, Joe, for those who don't know, Joe is my associate producer. He's EP, executive producer of the Internet podcast. Joe produced. But he started Sunshine. They won the national championship. I was rooting for them. I honestly believe, I told Bama this on a few shows ago, that I believe Nick Saban got outcoached that game because when they ran that football, Clemson couldn't do nothing with them, and they decided to want to go with Tua and sling the ball over the field. Y'all know my motto: you run to win, you throw to score. Every football coach in the history of the game will tell you that. Nick Saban stepped out of his comfort zone and lost that game. The reason you run to win and throw to score because defenses get tired, offenses don't. When you are aggressive in football, you will maintain energy because you're moving in a straight line. When you are getting punched, you wear down. It's just a simple human physics. You cannot backpedal. The energy it takes to backpedal, move forward, move laterally, and chase is more than to move forward. It's just simple. It's not, HRap ain't some football dreams, even though I am. But, I blow my own horn because without me blowing my horn, there's no music. Now, Dabo don't want to get his young brother a ring, though. Now, I've seen people get rings for all sorts of things, and the ring ain't worth a few $100. But see, this shows you that if you're not benefiting me, go to hell. That's what it really shows, folks. Because, see, it's easy to say, I love this kid. This kid is special when he's doing something for you. Adoration comes when you are not useful to me and I can still treat you the same. I ain't got time to be hating nobody or doing wrong by a young person if I'm a 50-something-year-old man. This dude helped you, and he felt he had a better opportunity to play at another university. You didn't block his transfer. You said y'all left on amicable. It was a mutual decision for him to go. So if it was a mutual decision, ship that ring to the man's house. But Mr. Swinney, as usual, like most users, playing the game, talking to be talking. So when you young people, when Dabo Swinney and others go into your house, remember this. See, but we don't remember this. We just review the opportunity to get on TV, to potentially go to professional football, and we pay no attention to the nonsense that goes along. This leads me to my next topic, and before I get there, Dabo Swinney, you know what the chair is, you know what a cone is. Now go to the corner and sit your ass down. Sit your ass down. You fucking dunce. But this leads me to a topic that you've heard on my show several times. Y'all know my moniker: family, clan, village, tribe. Y'all know my money. That's it. That's how I live. The reason I'm bringing this up is the homie Chris Broussard been listening to my show. Shout out to Chris Broussard for listening. I really appreciate you, man. Good to know big guys like you. I really appreciate it. And if you've listened to my show 3 or more times, you've heard your boy Clemson got Bama's number, and the Bulls like the Giants got the Patriots. Damn, they're going hard. They're going hard. That's with tomorrow. The thing is this. Chris Broussard stated something I've been stating for the 4 years I've been on air. At some point, instead of arguing and wrestling with the establishment, we must circle the wagons and become a self-contained unit. And how we do that? Just imagine. See, everybody wants, like Chris Broussard called for big-time athletes to go to HBCUs. I think that's a bit difficult to ask of the very best. The top 100, I think that's difficult to ask for them to go, hey, no, don't take a chance at going to Bama and winning. Don't take a chance at going to Clemson. Don't take a chance at going to OSU. Don't take Michigan, so forth and so on, SC, where you're going to get the utmost attention. I think it's a bit much to ask of a young person. But y'all know the math. I've done the math on here. 33%, 36.3% of the people who are in the National Football League on my unofficial poll that I did on my own, 36.3% of the players that are in the National Football League today are from schools you never even heard of. That's a third of the players. Kelly Howard is in the building. Thank you for driving home and listening to your boy. There's much. And remember, this is a podcast. We are built for this network. This is a podcast. If you miss some, you can always listen tomorrow, the next day. You can get the link, send it to a friend, tell a friend, to tune in, and then chime in. Hit the like button, hit the share button on your Twitter and or Facebook, and then you too can enjoy Built for this network. But back to what I was saying. I think it's a bit difficult to ask a young person to risk a chance at doing this. You know, going to a big school and getting exposure and potentially going to get money and getting generational wealth. Let's just be honest. But what I would like to do is take that from 200 or 300 on down and send all those guys. See, those guys that go to Rudy Poo State University, Miami of Ohio's, hell, at this point, University of Illinois, and other schools like that. They're big time school, you know, they're big time athletes and people overlook them. Just imagine if those young men, and what Chris Broussard didn't say is, stop sitting on the sideline, the Mike Singertaries, the Brian Cox of the world, and hoping and pleading and begging that you'll get an opportunity because you're a real man. You are a thinking adult male who is not being trapped in the matrix, so you may never get an opportunity. But you know what you could do? You can go down to Hampton. You can go down to FAMU. You can go down to Howard. You can go to Jackson State. You can go to Texas A&M Prairie View. You can go to Alabama State University and get a coaching job there. Get some of your cohorts who want to be coaches as well, and y'all coach up them young brothers, because you know what? There's no way in hell I'm going to Morgan State, Miami of Ohio, Wichita State, or one of these schools, Tulane, or one of these schools, if Mike Singletary, Otis Wilson, and Richard Dent walk in my front room and say, I want you to come to Jackson State University. See, that's when we can make a difference, because then if where the brothers go, that's where the money gonna be. Because look, when the brothers show up, when we gonna start paying attention to the brothers, and then nobody really paying attention to Michigan football. About 10, 12 years ago, nobody paying big time attention to Ohio State University until Greg Oden and Mike Conley Jr. got there, and Lawrence Funderburk and Jimmy Jackson and all of them got there. But just imagine if you are a second tier player, and all those second tier players, which don't mean that you're a second tier athlete, it just means these big publications didn't pay attention to you. Just imagine if you start going to these schools who support your interests and have your best interest in mind, and these brothers start, hey, NFL, please give me a coaching job, please give me a coaching job, just like Patrick Ewing, the great Patrick Ewing, the great Mark Jackson, Just imagine if Mark Jackson went to Jackson State or Alabama A&M and went down there, and because he's a man of God, and look, being a man of God, if you saying, oh, if you rolling your eyes, oh, come on with the church stuff, look, that's his situation, that's his get down, it makes him a better person. Anything that makes a man or a woman a better person, we need to encourage them to continue to do it. Back to what I was talking about. If he went to one of these HBCUs with a Ron Artest, who's a basketball savant, contrary to popular belief, Ron Artest is not some wild, ignorant ass banshee who's just doing crazy stuff. The man is, if you hear him talk, you understand that this man knows basketball as well as or better than anybody that you know. You get a group of guys like that, Corliss Williamson, who's begging for a job in the NBA. These guys begging. Go your ass down to these HBCUs like Kenny Anderson. Shout out to the great Kenny Anderson. Shout out to the great Anthony Hardaway. Shout out to the great George Lynch. They all are HBCUs. Well, not Penny. Well, Penny's not, but y'all know what I mean. You know, these guys at these HBCUs, getting these young brothers coming in, bringing money to these smaller universities, making them Division I AA, and then potentially removing themselves from the National Association of College Athletics altogether, creating your own entity and making your own money and not sharing it with anybody. Because again, ain't nobody going to see Trent play football. Ain't nobody going to see Trevor play football. No disrespect to my white brothers and sisters out there, but ain't nobody going to see that. Nobody's going to see that. Name the greatest white running back ever. Name the greatest white receiver ever. You can't. I could do it, but you can't. So ain't nobody going to see them. You know, hey man, Steve Large. No, nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing that. And Steve Young is overrated. That's a whole nother show for a whole nother conversation. But like I was saying, if we start galvanizing our folks and these athletes who are not getting attention paid to them, start sending them brothers to them HBCUs, you gonna kick ass. Look. Greatest pass rusher in the NFL. David Deacon Jones, HBCU. Ed McCaffrey. Right. Ain't nobody talking about Ed McCaffrey. I don't give a damn how good he was. Cold brother too. Ain't nobody talking about him. Hey man, you know what? I'm gonna put us over the top. We can get another Ed McCaffrey. Said by no general manager or coach in the history of football. I'm just telling you. Now, but hey, like I was saying, greatest pass rush in the history of the game, David Deacon Jones, HBCU product. Arguably the greatest running back in the history of the game, Walter Payton, HBCU. Arguably the greatest wide receiver in the history of the game, HBCU, Walter Payton. One of the greatest defensive backs in the history of the game, Aeneas Williams, HBCU. It's the dude who won Tom Brady his 5th Super Bowl by intercepting Russell Wilson, HBCU. So let's not act like the talent isn't there and the ability isn't there. What we need to do is realize the ice is cold on this in this refrigerator as well. See, then we don't have to worry about being constrained and held back and arguing with somebody. Do right by me. Bullshit. See, if you've ever been a bully, I've been one. If you've ever been bullied, I've been bullied. And if you ever defended anyone, something else I've done, you realize the only way bullies understand is an open hand slap or a punch in the mouth. If you get punched in the mouth, you can't say, hey man, don't hit me no more. No. Hit me again and I'm going to tear your throat out your face. That's all. And then people leave you alone. That's it. That's it. But we keep saying, hey man, this is our country too. Well, create a country inside of a country, move to HBCUs, coaching HBCUs, and then they'll be saying, hey, you want to coach the Clippers? No. Like, hey, like Master A said, call a cab to come get you, because I'm too damn fly to be seen with you. That's this week's Hip Hop on Master Ace's week. For those who don't know, Master Ace has actually been on the show. He's a friend of the program. Now, next up, man, is a lot of people have let this slide under the radar. The fact that Zion Williamson signed with Air Jordan brand sneakers. We're not talking about this enough. Understand what has happened. I don't know if it was purposely done. I don't know if it's just a happenstance. But Zion Williamson turned down a boatload of money with his Asian company, a boatload of money with Puma, and a lot of money with Nike to sign with Jordan brand. Some people might be saying, well, Jordan is Nike brand. No. just like GM make Chevys,